As I turn down the music, hello everybody, happy Thursday on the Morning Night Live, where things sometimes just go as expected. You know what I mean? I thought, okay, what's this town hall with the Donald? What was it going to be like? And I didn't even watch it. I just been watching clips on it this morning, and everything I expected happened. It was, it was an It show with extra shh. So if you know what I mean. Anyway, we'll talk about that and a whole bunch of stuff today. I got a full plate and a little time to do it. So let's get this thing started. Johnny, please play the intro now.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yes, it is. And hello, everybody. There's my face. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we laugh at stupid things and stupid people, and sometimes we laugh, we cry, sometimes we hurl, because there's a whole bunch of things to hurl about. And it's funny, I gotta laugh because Gunfox sent me something. Thank you, by the way, Gunfox61, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar, which makes you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir, for sponsor show. If you want to sponsor the show, actually, don't even go to pdog.live. There's a link that'll pop up in the chat every once in a while that's easier to find where you're going, and just use that one. It's the Streamlabs link. Also, YouTube Super Chats and Rumble Rants are great, too. I still laugh about the Rumble Rants. I don't know how to get them. I have $100 in there, and it's not from over the last several months, and I have no idea to get it out of there. But anyway, I'll figure it out eventually. But that's okay. Send them there, and I'll see, this will be a nest egg. If I figure it out, it'll be a little nest egg, and I'll just leave it there. But otherwise, you can sponsor the show, P-Dog Night Live, where it says in the chat. Like, share, all that stuff. Okay, let's say hi, and I want to get into it quickly because there's a whole bunch. But anyway, Gunfox says, reparations, Democrats demand it. But that's not what you sent me. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Oh, yeah, so he sent the clip, the Hank Johnson clip. Actually, I have an actual clip of Hank Johnson, by the way. Let me make sure I have it in my bookmarks. I'll put that in the list now, because I was going to skip it, but now that you've mentioned it, it's definitely going in, because America's dumbest congressman, and I mean it. I mean it. America's dumbest congressman has some words, and we'll show you those. We'll show you those today. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Hank tip over Guam congressman, that dude. So, but let's say hi to everybody before I even get to that, because this is some extra special stupid. Anyway, first in the chat over on Rumble is Mr. Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Thank you for being here, sir. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Jimmy Das Hotep from Hotep Nation, and Next Gen Troll. Nice to see everyone over there. And Sully 209. Is that? I always forget. Is Sully 209 is the same as, is that Hig on the other side? I can't remember who's on this side. Anyway, when y'all have different names on one side and the other side, because when I say one side and the other side, I put the Rumble chats here, and I put the YouTube chats here. I always get that messed up. But on YouTube, first in the chat is Somnambule Nation, who gets the bell. Took out Avocados Diablo for one day. That's pretty good. Good morning. Also, good morning, Jesse Leon. Avocados Diablo's over there too. Gunfox61, the ever faithful administrator of our Discord server for the P-Dog Night channel. Trippy Liberties in the house. Rotten. Oh, by the way, and if you're not on the Discord server, that link pops up in the chat every once in a while. Click that. It'll take you there, and you're welcome to join us. people post news and memes and all kinds of things over there. And so, yeah, it's fun over there. Good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Rotten Corpse, hello. Good morning, Tyler F., Chicago Mike, Dr. Funkenstein's Ghost, a.k.a. Tyler Alexander, JB, what's up? Good morning, sir. Good morning, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island. Good morning also to Simon Wolfwood. I said JB. H.P. Lovecraft's in the house. Trump was his usual clown last night, but we are near post-clown world. So while entertaining, it's time to leave. It's tough, man. Look, if Trump ends up being the nominee, I have to support him over this dingleberry in the White House. But yeah, I don't know if Trump helped himself last night. I don't know. I didn't watch the thing. I've only seen clips. So some clips were like him being, the forceful, I got facts Trump, and some of it was clownish Trump. I don't know. Trump is Trump. And like I said, I always said, I think Trump's a jackass, but sometimes he was definitely the jackass we needed. So it's tough. I'm torn. What's that song? It's outside, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. It's just how I feel. Anyway. Good morning also, fake news expert. Shrapnel's in the house. What's up? Nice to see you. They said Mike Savage already. I'm scrolling down. Who else is here? Scribe Light. Dog Thrapple. Good morning, sir. Also, GB sounds about right. Chicago Mike's in the house. What's up? Reese Donald. Hello. And that's everybody who's shown up that I can see so far. If you, like I said, jump in the chat if you want me to say hi, or just watch and enjoy the show, because we're going to try to be as entertaining as we possibly can. So let's get it going right now. Now, Gunfox sent me an article. Oh, wait, real quick. Thank you also, before I get into this. Maddie's here somewhere. I see you tweeted out the show, so I'm assuming you're here. Excuse me. Thank you for tweeting out the show. Also, Tyler Alexander, Scribe Light, Jimmy Das Hotep, Tyler F., and I think that's everybody. Let's that have tweeted out the show so far. And Somnambule Nation. I'm sorry, I don't mean to miss you. You were the first one to tweet it out. So thank you very much. All right. There's a bunch of people arguing in my Twitter feed. So it's hard to find everybody. Apparently I said something that got people weirded out or whatever they do. So anyway, let's get into today's news. Now, this first one, I'm going to do Gunfox's first today because apparently there's I don't know what this has to do with this. Was this a reparations? I don't even know what this debate was about, but Hank Johnson, America's dumbest. Oh shoot, what happened there? Oh gosh, hang on. Let me fix this. This is not a, there we go. Okay. Now you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about. Hank Johnson, America's dumbest congressman. And that's quite a feat. I got to be honest with you. Because there are several dumb congressmen on both sides of the aisle. I don't just say that just no Democrats are dumb. Democrats have dumber ideas, but there's plenty of stupid people in Congress and in the Senate. Democrats accuse GOP of wanting to get back to slavery again, argues migrants are needed to keep Americans from starving. Now, let me just play the clip because there are a lot of clips like this one that I'm about to show you. Okay, and then this is extra special from Representative Hank Johnson, America's dumbest congressman. And that's my trademark for Hank Johnson. So he may or may not be the dumbest, but he certainly puts in the work to be in the running. So I'm just saying, here's America's dumbest congressman, Hank Johnson. And the fact that he's saying this out loud kind of reminds me, because so by the way, when they say that Democrat or Republicans want to bring back slavery or whatever, this this type of statement, remember, because Democrats were the party of slavery. Now, granted, they're not the party of slavery now. I'm not saying they are. But they have the same principles Their principles haven't changed much, even though they don't no longer believe in slavery. But their principles on a lot of stuff still kind of fits. You know what I mean? Anyway, so here is Hank Johnson, America's dumbest congressman, talking about about the migrants.
To create crisis at the border
So
that people come here and they're always subject to being...
Now, I got to tell you, they create crisis at the border. You got to remember who created the crisis at the border. Remember, the border was kind of it was leveling off and maybe even less crisis-y during the Trump administration. He kind of got them to slow their roll from just running and trying to get across over here. And then as soon as Biden comes to office, the welcome signs were put up. They put on flashing welcome signs and billboards all across Mexico and Central America saying, "Come on down." It's like the Price is Right. Come on down. And they've been coming. And the encounters they talk about, well, the encounters are just, they say, oh, yeah, well, the reason they're having so many encounters, the Border Patrol is doing better. No, it's because there's a lot more people coming. Because the encounters are just, they say, hi, oh, hello, here's a form, come back and see us when we give you a court date. And it's not happening. Anyway, let's go back to the Hank Johnson, America's dumbest congressman.
To create crisis at the border so that people come here and they're always subject to being illegal workers.
And we need. Do I even need to comment on that? Anyway, let him talk.
To do something about that in this country. Those folk who are coming across are the ones who are helping to put food on our table. Without them, we're not able to eat.
Oh, really?
If you turn them away, if all of them were turned away,
what?
And then this legislation passed, making it easier to get at people who are already here legally, and you have no immigration, then we would have no food.
Wait. What did he say? The legislation passed to get at the people who are here legally. The people who are here legally are here legally. Why we're not talking about the people who are here legally. Hello, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
And then this legislation passed, making it easier to get at people who are already here legally. And
to get at people who are already here. What are you talking about? Anyway,
you have no immigration, then we would have no food on our
We'd
plates.
have no food if we had no immigration. The illegal immigrants.
The building, the construction.
Nobody would be doing construction, okay?
Homes. We would have nobody cleaning up in the hospital.
Nobody would be cleaning up your bedpans if there were no illegal immigrants. No honest work.
That deserves an honest day's pay.
No one would get paid.
That's the kind of system that we need to have.
Nobody would do it.
Immigration is important.
Oh my gosh.
And my friends on the other side of the aisle want to pretend that they want to close this border.
Oh my goodness. Now here's the problem here. Okay? Here's one problem that I can see. So he's saying that what the hell's going on? What is that doing? What was that? Stop that. Oh, that's just what is going on? Well, I hope you can see what I'm seeing. Do you see what I see? Anyway, so here's something interesting because, oh, hello, Tails of Gore, right? Who will pick our cotton? Yes, exactly. Who will pick our cotton if, and James Colley, what's up? This is fascinating. So when I was a kid, I was 4 years old. This is in 1969. And my parents were building a brand new house. They were having the house built for them. They built a nice new house in a new neighborhood that they were part of getting this neighborhood together. I don't know if I've never told the story of how my parents ended up in my parents were part of this group that created a whole new neighborhood in Western Omaha, which is mostly white at the time, but they were tired of, being pushed away from houses and stuff. So they built their own neighborhood. So my parents built this brand new house, right? And I remember when the contractor was, having the house built, our house was being built. One day we went out there and it was the day that the guys were putting on the roof, right? The roof. And the entire roofing crew that was putting on the roof of this house that my parents were building were black men. They were black men doing, skilled roofing jobs, guys. These guys were really good at it. And they put a beautiful roof on the house. And, it's fascinating. There's black men. And one time I remember, another time we had a roof repaired, and this was in the early 70s. And my parents had some people come out, and the contractor, and all the guys up there were black men, right? Have you ever seen a roofing crew these days? Especially after a storm, after a hailstorm or whatever, and they run through and they come to all these crews. And it's always Hispanic men. It's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to the black men that used to do this? Oh, maybe, I don't know if we've gotten too skilled or too smart or we just don't do those jobs anymore, but it's all Mexican guys. And I'm not knocking that, okay? I don't care. Whoever wants to do skilled labor, I'm more than happy that they do it. But I was just confused that he was saying that if we don't allow these people to come across the border illegally, that we wouldn't have anyone. We would have no food. We would have no one building buildings. We'd never have anyone fixing buildings. We'd have no one cleaning up cleaning the hospitals and bedpans. What the actual fuck are you talking about? Hank Johnson. So anyway, it's funny because a lot of people, now look, this is not something new. In fact, here, let me give you an example of someone else saying something similar to this. Okay, here's an example of someone saying similar to this. It was a different time, a different day, but the same thing. Now, I'm fair warning. Okay, the image you're seeing might be somewhat shocking to your senses. So just please hold your, cover your buttholes and all that stuff, and be careful, because I'm telling you, I have given you the warning. Here we go.
The fact is that
I'm sorry, I know.
we have a responsibility to secure our border. We also have a responsibility to recognize the importance of newcomers to our nation. Right now, the best thing that we can do for our economy is to have comprehensive immigration reform.
Okay.
We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops down here. But that doesn't mean that we don't recognize our moral responsibility as well.
So we need them to pick the crops. What's that song? Insane in the membrane, something in our crops. Anyway, hello, Gulf City, DCC, Blink 182, as he's known, and Hig. What's up from us? Where are you traveling right now, Hig? Just out of curiosity. By the way, if anyone, we're going to be, Lady Boomer and I, speaking of traveling, Lady Boomer and I are going to be in Mackinac City, Michigan on Saturday, Sunday, over the Memorial Day weekend. We're going to go check out the island. Never been up there. Here it's beautiful in that part of the country. You get to see, in fact, as you cross that bridge, you can see two of the Great Lakes at the same time. We're calling it our Great Lakes tour. We're going to hit Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and Lake Huron, I believe. Huron is the one in Michigan? Yeah, Huron, because Erie is farther east. So anyway, we're going to hit 3 Great Lakes over that holiday. Anyway, so now, so that's funny. By the way, if you're wondering about Guam, I know people like to mention Guam. Here's a oldie but a goodie, Hank Johnson discussing, asking a general in the, I believe the United States Army about, and this is why I call him the Hank Johnson, America's dumbest congressman. Here's Hank Johnson, greatest hits.
This is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long.
24 miles.
24 miles
7
long,
miles wide.
about 7 miles wide at the least widest.
Yes. Where are you going with
place
this,
on
sir?
the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island.
Yes.
And I don't know how many square miles that is.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you.
What do you get that,
Yeah, my
Congressman?
fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
We don't anticipate
the Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000.
Okay. We don't anticipate that. Could you tell he was trying his hardest not to laugh at this dumbass? Oh my gosh. Oh, seriously, I've been to Guam quite a few times. There are areas on that island that slant almost like a hill, and then you go to the other side and it slants the other way. Someone should look into that. So anyway, I don't even know what okay, so the article tells me here what the debate, this is a debate about something. Yes, but he said that, oh, and then what else did he say here? He said that, what else did he say? So then he said, what's he say? Johnson said Republicans like to see immigrants lined up at the border because they know that's a stream of labor ready to be exploited with cheap, if any compensation. Quote, I mean, if you could go back to slavery, you would gladly do so. But if you could pay people $1 an hour, you could settle for that. That's the race to the bottom that we have with immigrants lined up at the border and trying to get in and go to work. Now, there's a few people who weren't happy about that statement. Thomas Jipping, a legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, said in a tweet that Johnson should be censured. It's not only factually false, it's stupid comparing slavery to working for a wage and just shamelessly insulting. Tennessee radio anchor Pamela Furr called the remark the most asinine statement I've ever heard. Oh, no. Guam far exceeded that. And then, let's see. And then there's a bunch of other people in here. That's okay. We don't have to read all these, but chef's kiss for that bit of knowledge and sheer poetry from Hank Johnson. Okay, Gunfox, you've done it again. What do we got here? Thank you again for sponsoring the show. Dropped another Hamilton in the tip jar. Oh Lord. View host Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, God. Okay, we'll do it. Just because you've paid for it. You pay for it, you get it. Let's just look at this one. View host Whoopi Goldberg gets blunt about gun reform. Politicians are not going to do it. I hate this, why the news break does not scroll. As the country reels and grieves from yet another mass shooting, this time Allen, Texas, Whoopi Goldberg got blunt on Monday's episode of The View. According to the moderator, politicians are simply not going to do anything about gun reform. How about we have some people reform? You know, it's not, as they always say, gun violence. Oh, gun violence. No, it's people violence. It's definitely that. After the gunman opened fire on Allen premium outlets in Texas on Saturday, 8 people have died, been becoming routine. Okay, I don't know why I want this scroll. I've never been figuring this out with Newsbreak. Okay, we know what happened. Meanwhile, as always, the women of The View were outraged over the insanity that seems to occur on a weekly basis at this point. Republican host Alyssa Farah Griffin and Anna Navarro both agreed that gun violence is a Republican issue and, as always, advocated for stricter gun laws. I want to make something unequivocally clear, Farah Griffin said. There's a disconnect between what the American people want to see on gun safety and what elected officials in Washington want states to see. They use these euphemisms of gun safety too. Okay, I'll finish this up. She then cited Fox News polls, not a liberal outlet, indicating that more than 80% of Americans support tighter gun restrictions, including enforced background checks, mental health checks, red flag laws, raising the minimum age to where it becomes legal to purchase one, and more. I would be willing to jump through more hoops to be able to get legally own a gun, to stop having kids and innocent people massacred, Farah Griffin added. The D.C. is disconnected from it. Republicans in D.C. are disconnected from it. They've got to act. You've got to act! But the conversation eventually circled back to Whoopi. She got blunt about what it'll take to get a real gun reform. All those things are great. All those things are going to help us. We are the ones who are going to make this happen. They're not going to do it. So either vote them back in with their guy that leads them or make the change. So she wants us to vote them all out. So, and they want to ban, they want to ban all guns. That's not, they say they don't. Oh no, we're just worried about assault weapons. Until you look at it and they go, so-called assault weapons are rifles, and rifles are not, the biggest, by even the biggest number of deaths by far. I mean, they're fifth as far as homicides. And also the other thing too, it's funny because, for example, there's like 15,000, not even gun deaths, just, shooting incidents, right? People either injured and or killed, okay? Of those 15,000 right now, about 8,600 of them are suicides, okay? And then when they talk about schools, okay, oh yes, there's children dying every week in every one of these schools. And it breaks me up, the thought of children being killed in these schools. And they say there's 300 school shootings this year, right? So far. Or no, 2001, 300. What they call it, 300 school shootings. Now, when they want to talk about mass shootings, well, 10 of those were considered mass shootings, right? In 2001. Of those, and also included in those shootings, were every incident where a gun was shot at or near or outside a school, not necessarily what you would call a mass shooting where someone comes in with the intention of killing a bunch of people. Okay, so they put all these together to make it sound like that was a big. So 300 in 2001 incidents. There are 130,000 schools, K through 12, in the United States of America. So, but because it's a sensational thing, because it's a rare thing, it makes the news. And every time it makes the news, especially when there's an agenda. So this is an agenda item. So it doesn't matter if it happens once or twice a year, which is too much. And it's always people who have some fucking shit going on in their heads. And I don't mean mental health. I just mean these are messed up people who would do this kind of thing. But when they're like, and everyone wants to be afraid, and our children should not fear this and this and that. Well, maybe it's because you publicize it so much and that people copycat it. But even with that, there's 130,000 separate school buildings in the United States of America. So if you do the math, you're like, oh, it's not likely to happen in the school near you. It may, and you should be prepared for it, and schools should be prepared for it. But when they say they're going to, if you would listen to the news, you'd think that it was happening. There was 300 mass shootings in every school. And again, in that number are included. Maybe like, so for example, if there is a drug deal on a weekend in a school playground and someone gets shot, that's considered a school shooting when they count these. See what I'm saying? So anyway, it's just a weird thing. Thank you again, Gunfox, for dropping a couple of articles. And thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for sponsoring the show, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar saying, the only people that like gun violence are the ones who want the government to have a monopoly on force. With all the money sent to Ukraine, you could put officers in every school and train teachers. Even here in Texas, 10 schools share one RSO, resource officer. What the fuck? Yeah, that's just it. If schools districts want to spend the money on that type of thing, then they can. I'd say get rid of one more. You probably have. I'm sure there's schools that are hiring gender specialists. You could get rid of the gender specialists and have a security guard instead. Thank you again, Jimmy Das Hotep, dropping another 556, aka a big bullet in the tip jar, who says, we decided Holly has taken a private school job because they train staff to be armed and take the kids' safety serious with actual methods of protection. The private school pays better and costs less per student than the public school average. Governments can't compete. That is so true. I think the average public school, I think in the United States right now, spends $15,000 per student per year, where the average private school, I think, is at like $7,600 per year. I mean, I that's weird to me, because even my school district is not it's a public school district, but it's in one of the suburbs here. What we spend per student is way lower than what in Minneapolis. Like, probably, we might spend 50% as much as they do per student, and yet our results, well, of course, there's a different vibe and different. There's a whole different attitude towards schools in suburbs than there is in Minneapolis, and it's like in St. Paul too. It's like the schools in St. Paul, like only 47% of the students in St. Paul are proficient in math and reading, but they spend it's like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 more per student than they do in my school district. Now, what is all that money going to? And it's certainly not going towards education, but also there's a different, people have worried. You aspire to be around those who, people you're around, who you associate with, that has a lot of factor in how you behave. And unfortunately, there's this attitude that tells kids, even if you do good here, you're not going to get ahead because someone's going to hold you down. That's the wrong message. I was thinking about this the other day. I might not get to any of this news today. I was thinking about this morning, actually, because I was reading a story about how Texas A&M has just basically fully taken on this whole DEI thing, right? The whole school is about diversity, equity, inclusion. And I was thinking about this because there's so many places and so many colleges and universities right now who want to increase the number of minorities, the number of, black students, whatever. But the thing is, they're starting at the wrong end of the ladder. Okay. You can't start that at the top of the ladder, because all you're going to do is get people who are already used the ladder and are up there. Right. The fact that these colleges are saying, oh, well, we just should change our admissions and we could base our admissions on getting more minorities in here. You're going to be competing for the same tiny group of minorities that have already been achievers. If you do that, you're not helping anyone who hasn't even got on the ladder yet. That's where you need to start, because, if you got entire school districts in this country that can't get kids to read and do math proficiently, like in the Baltimore school districts, not a single kid in the entire school district is at their grade level in math and reading proficiency. Not a single kid in an entire school district in the city of Baltimore. Same thing, it's like in San Francisco, it's the same thing. About less than half of minorities graduate in California. That's the bottom of the ladder. How are you going to get them to even another rung of the ladder? Or if you're going to pull kids who can't even read and write into a university, all you're doing is setting them up for failure. You're not, you have to work at the bottom. If you really want to do something for diversity, go work, send half your students out to work and help kids at the beginning of the ladder, because you can't go to another level, and you can't pull in kids to the highest level and before they've gotten through the first step. So it just pisses me off every time I hear shit like that. Fuck your diversity, equity, and inclusion. How about you? If you really want kids to succeed, you got to start at the beginning, and you got to tell them that if you do this, this, and this, you will be, have a great life and be able to do things you want and do the job you want and whatever. You're not going to do it by saying, "Oh, well, you know what? We're the university. This is the highest level. We should have more minorities, whatever. We'll just pull in we'll all compete for the same ones." Drives me nuts. Sorry, rant ended. Good morning, Septus Wolf. Good morning, Kay. What's up? Nice to see you. Linda Hunter, I see you. Anna Lynn. Welcome to the show. That's one of my biggest fucking peeves, man. All right, I'm gonna have to do lightning round for everything today. So there we go. So first, just in the news, trending news, Senator Dianne Feinstein has brought her corpse back to the Senate. 89-year-old Democrat, welcome back by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, said she was feeling much better after being absent while recovering from shingles. Well, I'm surprised she remembered what her name is, because she has advanced stages of dementia, but she's still in the Senate. This is going to be her last term. And a lot of Democrats were very angry because she hasn't been able to really do anything in the Senate. And so there's been kind of a deadlock, which I prefer. Believe me, I prefer that. She has, so this restores the Senate Democrats' majority of 51-49 in the Senate. And so they're overjoyed. Big deal, right? She will not be gone here long. So let's get into the main topic, which I meant to get to. There's certain things that happened at this town hall last night on CNN, and people are pissed about it. In fact, I'm not doing this in order. Let's start with Trump town hall first, because I've had that twice. When was that supposed to be? Okay, so anyway, things that are trending on Twitter. One is Trump town hall. And like I said, you're going to see from the lefties, you're going to see everything they hated about it. From the people on the right, you're going to see everything they love about it. And this was just I don't know if this is a ratings thing for CNN or what. I don't know why they did this right now. I have no idea. Makes no sense. It is the 11th of May, 2023. Election year's next year. Why are we doing town halls over a year before actual election season, or even primaries, or not a year before primaries? This early, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, wait a minute. So anyway, they did this. Here's the clip. Someone thought it was great by Trump. Apparently, pulling out receipts. Let's see this.
Back to what happened on that day. You said you weren't. He did not say that. He has testified that, Mr. President. He did not say that. But you said you weren't very involved that day. You did tell your supporters to come to Washington. You tweeted about it, about that speech that happened on the rally.
Am I allowed to say that?
When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers.
No. Okay. I like Kaitlyn Collins. I think she was great when she was on the Hill. They had their little Hill cast, and she's one of the, she is partisan left, but she's a good journalist. And I know part of her job at CNN for this particular town hall was to sit there and argue with Trump for 3 hours, or however long they did it. And she did her job well as far as that's concerned. But anyway, let this go here.
Why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out.
Now, that's the other thing. This is something that people keep saying, it took him 3 hours to tell him to go home. You know what's funny is what's the goofy shaman guy, QAnon shaman guy. There's video of him reading tweets by Donald Trump telling them to be peaceful, no violence, go home, go away, whatever. It wasn't 3 hours later. It was before those idiots even broke into the Capitol. You know, Mr. Go into the Capitol. Oh, that was Ray Epps. Excuse me. He didn't go in, but he told him to. There were tweets while it was happening Trump saying no violence, this and that. And those are the tweets that apparently Twitter was going to take down or something. Anyway, let's see what he did here.
So if you look at on January 5th, the day before, I said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. This was the day before, and this was in the form of Twitter. Now use Truth Social. I think it's far superior, okay? I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look January 6th, this is before 2:30. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. This is right after, as it was happening. But what happened is they took it down. I don't know why. I think they took it down because it was so good. They did take it down. They didn't like it being up there. I am asking, and we didn't know until I got it back, because now I have 90 million people waiting for me to go back, but I'm on Truth, and I'm staying on Truth. Listen, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violation. We want no violation. We want no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. That was at 2:30. That was very early.
Mr. President, I looked at the same timeline that you did.
No, but you didn't report that. You know why? Because it was taken down. We did report it.
I was reporting that
day. It was taken down and it wasn't.
But when it was clear.
So now I don't know what she said after this. Was she going to try to tell him that he didn't say anything? I mean, look, the Capitol. Oh God, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So anyway, that's one of the clips. Now here's Ed Krasenstein, of course. Here's a clip that Ed Krasenstein wanted you to see. And now let's see. And this is an odd, and this is one of those answers where Trump's not very good at answering things. So here's what the opposite side is posting as far as the Trump town hall. So here's one of them.
When it comes to your documents, did you ever show those classified documents to anyone?
Not really. I would have the right to. By the way, they were declassified
what do you mean, not really?
After. Not that I can think of. Let me just tell you, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with them. I have the right.
So now he cuts that off because he was saying that he does have the president does have the right to declassify them. So if he did declassify them and he showed them to somebody, he declassified them. So I get it. People want to take what they can out of this, but both sides are making clips of it. So there's plenty of stuff here that people are posting about it.
You said you weren't.
Excuse me, hang on. Let me. Oh, okay, this is reset. Now here's I'm glad they brought this up. Representative Byron Donalds takes turns ending every hack's career on CNN panel after Trump humiliated their moderator during the town hall. Now he thinks Benny Johnson thinks Trump humiliated the moderator. So here we go. Here's Byron Donalds from the state of Florida.
A couple of things. First of all, town halls are for the voters, not for the press, not for the person who's the moderator. Kaitlyn spent more time interjecting her own viewpoints own views on the situation.
Excuse me, those are actually facts.
Now, are you guys not going to interject your views on me, or do I get a chance to speak now?
If you're speaking falsely,
he's not speaking falsely. He's giving an opinion, Anderson, so don't cut him off.
The town hall is for the president to speak to the voters of New Hampshire, not for this back and forth with media. That's number one. Hold on. That's number one. Number two, with respect to Ukraine, I totally disagree. He did not say he was just going to give over Ukraine the way you intimate, Van. He did not say that.
He didn't say what he said
is that he would actually look for a solution to end it quickly. He put 24 hours on it, but let's be very clear. What Joe Biden has done has been a disaster, because initially with Ukraine, Joe Biden wanted to give Vladimir Zelensky a ride out of Dodge. He wanted to give him a plane ride, and it wasn't until people in Moscow, in Ukraine, here in the United States said this invasion is wrong that Joe Biden reversed course.
Do you want a victory in Ukraine? Do you want a victory in Ukraine?
I'm just trying to respond to everything that's been coming up on the table. Last thing, let me say this.
And notice how it's So if you look at this panel too, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't know who this is. Like it looks like Klaus to me, but I don't know. So you're gonna have all these panelists arguing with one Republican congressman. Yeah, that's gonna work. These are all because isn't that the chick from The View? She's anti-Trump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on against one who's going to defend Trump. But anyway.
Coming up on the table. Last thing, let me say this. We spent 22, 23 minutes talking about January 6th. We could have been talking about a whole lot of other issues instead of doing that for the first half hour or so. But let me be very clear. What was said in this town hall about National Guard troops that were authorized by Kaitlyn was wrong. I'm on the Oversight Committee. I was in 2 hearings on January 6th. It was testified in oversight that Donald Trump authorized National Guard troops on January 4. He followed up in a call with then acting Secretary of Defense on January 5, trying to see where the deployment was on those troops. That is testimony in the Oversight Committee. Everybody testified in Oversight Committee when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House, except one organization, and that was the Capitol Police.
Did you read the
because
Secretary
Nancy
of Defense's
Pelosi would
book?
not allow that. I'm telling you what was testified to in the Oversight Committee under oath.
Well, let me just correct you, because what Kaitlyn was saying was what would the
How is Anderson going to correct him on what was said in testimony under oath in the Oversight Committee? Anderson Cooper wasn't there. God, these people.
Defense wrote in his book, he said the president did not.
I am telling you what he testified to under oath. In the Oversight Committee.
Congressman, can I just ask?
Are the facts. Go ahead.
You do acknowledge Donald Trump lost the 2020 election, correct?
Again, we're going to continue to talk about 2020.
No, I mean, it's a direct
right
question.
Now, hold on. Let me tell you why most voters are frankly kind of tired of y'all bringing this up. Inflation, border.
You don't have the courage to express your opinion about what
I'm a Republican voter. I'm a Republican
voter.
voter.
You're not. You're anti-Trump.
The border, fentanyl, the debt ceiling, foreign policy. If you want to talk about the 2020 election, let's talk about this. We do know that Mark Elias was in many jurisdictions suing to actually change election procedures, which, by the way, is at the hands of the state legislature in every state, according to the Constitution. Not in the hands of courts, not in the hands of the Supreme Court, the state legislature. We do know that to be a fact. We do know that true.
You won't state your opinion about factually what happened in the 2020 election.
You guys want me to make a statement. And this is, Frank, let me tell you right now. This is what's frustrating to a lot of people. You want me to state it the way you want me to state it.
No, I don't.
I am telling you.
I want you to just answer the question.
And the
do you
reasons behind why certain people
do you
look
believe
at the
the election was rigged?
The way that they do.
I understand why some people believe it.
Moving forward into 2024, a couple of things are very, very clear. The nation is a mess. Our border is overrun. Inflation is crippling every family. Republican, Democrat, Independent. Those are the facts of the matter in 2024.
They do not want to. They don't want to talk about those things. It's amazing. So anyway, that's that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to move on because I'm way behind. So good for Byron Donald though. You know, they don't want to hear it. So but if you want to see clips, there's clips of, wait a minute, hang on. Let's see what AOC has to say. Now again, Hank Johnson is, America's dumbest congressman, holds the title, but I can't say that this person does not run a close second. Let's hear what AOC had to say about it. She's very upset. She's very, very upset.
I know you said earlier that you will not comment on the platforming of such atrocious disinformation, I would. I think it was a profoundly irresponsible decision. I don't think that I would be doing my job if I did not say that. And what we saw tonight was a series of extremely irresponsible decisions that put a sexual abuse victim at risk.
Bullshit.
Put that person at risk in front of a national audience, and I could not have disagreed with it more.
You're going to be hearing that too. Okay, you're going to be hearing that too. You know my feelings on that. So there you go. There's America's I want to say America's second dumbest congressman, but I don't know that she is. She's definitely smarter than Hank Johnson, though. All right, real quick. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, sponsoring the show. Dropping another big bullet tip jar. Who says Byron Donalds should have been Speaker of the House. Cooper calling him a coward is laughable as he hammers them on issues. Fuck those bitches. Yeah, fuck them bitches. Right on. Yes, that's what I agree. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. All right, let's where are we at? Time. Oh my gosh, I'm getting close. All right, I'm going to try to do as much a lightning round, but there's so many things on here I could just rant about. So other things trending on Twitter right now that in that same vein of thought. Trump Town Hall already did that twice. What happened to boycott CNN? Oh, Ted Turner is trending because people are mad at CNN and they're saying Ted Turner would never, ever, contemplate having this crap on. Dave Schuster, CNN was built by some legendary journalist and executive decades ago. Ted Turner, Tom Johnson, Ed Turner, Bob Fernand, Bernie Shaw, and Mary Alice Williams, and more. From the first planning meeting, they would have shot down and ridiculed what CNN did tonight. Oh, poor David Schuster. David Schuster used to be on CNN too, I think. And that's because John Cusack, the brilliant actor from Better Off Dead, I Want My $2, said, CNN anchors, now it would be a good time to resign. Do it together. Don't go on the air and pretend to report on this lie-filled hate infomercial. You know why and what happened. Chris Lick did it for the money and for greed. You network set a torch to the country again. Just resign. Oh. Anyway, Breitbart says part of the town hall, Trump said, I'm inclined to pardon many January 6th prisoners if elected. I think that's the right thing to do. Anonymity, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Anonymity T2. Are you Terminator 2? I don't know. Let's check it out. Anyway, this is Breitbart, the right-wing news outlet. I always try to clarify that. Anyway, former President Trump said during the CNN town hall event on Wednesday he would likely pardon a large portion of those serving prison sentence for the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot if elected president. Wayne Byer, retired attorney from New Hampshire, asked Trump, will you pardon then January 6 rioters who were convicted of federal offenses? He said, I'm inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one because a couple of them probably got out of control. That's an interesting way. He then shifted focus to the militant progressive left, asserting nothing is done to Antifa radicals when they commit crimes. But when you look at Antifa, what they've done to Portland, what they've done to Minneapolis and so many other places, look at what they did to Seattle and BLM. Many people were killed. These people, I'm not trying to justify anything, but if you have two standards of justice in the country and what they've done, I love that question because what they've done to so many people is nothing. And then what they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. Okay, yes, so there you go. And then when the moderator asked Kaitlyn Collins if he would be pardoning the 4 Proud Boys members who were charged and convicted with seditious conspiracy, I don't know. I have to look at their cases. But I will say in Washington, D.C., you can't get a fair trial. You cannot, just like in New York City. Yes, we know that. You can't get a fair trial either. So anyway, that's another thing he said. Also trending, boycott CNN. Yes, they are outraged. They are outraged that CNN even would put this orange beast on TV. Yes, everyone on the left this morning, what CNN, CNN, these are all these, if CNN allowed opinions that are different than mine, I'm never watching again. And then see, Michael Fanone, the one cop who is trying to continue his 15 minutes of fame, did an article in Rolling Stone magazine, feels betrayed by CNN. The officer almost killed at January 6th, states, I don't believe that hosting Donald Trump is about journalistic integrity. It's about ratings and money. Oh, it's absolutely about ratings and money. Well, come on. This is CNN. That's what it's all about in CNN. They need the ratings. I'm sure they got the boost they wanted. So anyway, and then the I hope that many more people are saying, I am done with CNN after this. How many more people can say they're done with CNN? How many people actually even watch CNN anymore? Boycott CNN. We don't need another fascist Fox. Oh, fascist. Now they're fascists. Okay. Also trending, and here's a good one. Liberals across America are consoling each other this morning over the CNN town hall with Donald Trump. Swastikas, Nazi memes, hate for Ted Turner, and the end of democracy claims are only outnumbered by their tears and hate for free speech. Today is a good day. Yes, boycott CNN. Moving on. Here's another one. Oh, Dan Bongino is trending too because he has gotten a little spat with Stephen King. He said Biden is a disgrace to humankind, an embarrassment to the human race in every respect. Stephen King replies, yes, but he's got a real job, not a podcast. Oh, snap. To which Bongino said, yeah, you're right. Millions of listeners a day on a podcast while you're watching porn in your mama's basement, yearning for the days that people actually gave a shit about your dumb ass. Nice comeback, dipshit. Get a job, loser. Now, someone did point out that, Someone pointed out that Stephen King's net worth's like $400 million and Dan Bongino's is a measly $10 million and thought that, oh, yeah, maybe you should start doing Pornhub or some shit. But I'm sorry. If you have a $10 million net worth, I think you're doing okay. All right, let's move on. Also, Stephen King is trending along with that because get a job, loser, well-known slacker Stephen King. Yeah, Stephen King has here's this person. Stephen King has a network of $400 million. Dan Bongino has an estimated net worth of $10 million. Dan, I heard Pornhub is looking for new small talent. Give them a call. Oh, are you dick shaming? Really? I'm going to guess you're a fat bitch. Did I say that out loud? I did say that out. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Anyway, because you can make dick jokes, but you can't call someone fat. Interesting. Also, let's see. Here's one. To all you libs out there, can you imagine your fearless leader sitting down unscripted for 90 minutes with someone like Tucker, Bongino, or Hannity? Yeah. Could you see Joe Biden doing a kind of an adversarial type of town hall where the host is arguing with the person who's talking to the people more than the people on the ground? So they put up this clip of Raheem here looking lost in his own in the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Let's see what they did here. I don't know the whole clip, so it's very short here. So he's
he is a correspondent for The Daily Show who just had a killer week as guest host.
Joe's just...
But Roy doesn't just play a fake journalist on
randomly
TV.
standing backwards,
That degree from Florida
not knowing what to do.
University
What is he doing?
Broadcast journalism.
This is the middle. They're introducing another person from The Daily Show, and he's just standing there facing the wrong way. Who knows what Joe Biden was doing? Anyway, all right, let's keep going. Lincoln Project is trending because apparently this moron has a little rant. What's his little twerp's name? He's like the 5 foot tall little bald headed. What's his name? What's this dickhead's name? Rick Wilson. This moron. So apparently he had a little rant on. Why is my mouse not working? He had a little rant on Twitter. Let's see what he had to say.
We're in a break now from the presidential town hall with CNN, Kaitlyn Collins.
Yeah.
And whatever the fuck they thought they were going to get out of this, they instead have set a match.
Now remember,
to
Rick
democracy
Wilson
once again. You are
used to be an advisor for John McCain. This is Rick Wilson. He's one of the people who started the Lincoln Project with that pedophile guy.
An insane person.
Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard, by the way.
Stand there and make people giggle and laugh when he jokes about rape.
Did he joke about rape?
When he jokes about abortion. When he calls an African-American police officer a thug. This insanity should be pulled off the fucking air. Chris Licht, you should be ashamed of yourself.
This is they're really upset.
Bad for the brand of CNN. It's astoundingly bad for the country. And it's astoundingly bad, honestly, folks,
High-Tex AG,
for
by the
every
way.
other Republican candidate in the primaries. Wrap that shit up. It's done. You saw this tonight. You know you can't beat him on the stage. Everybody else, oars up. Time to go to work because he's going to be the nominee. This shit is unfucking believable. I've never seen anything like it. It is a disaster of the highest fucking degree.
Sorry, Rick. I'm sorry this is happening to you. Look, here's my thoughts. Donald Trump's an insult machine. He's like, who's the insult dog with the cigar, whatever his name is. And he's, you know, people eat it up, but is he a shoo-in as the nominee? I don't know. I think, you know, I think if they do Republican debates, which they may or may not, I don't even know if they will, but if they do, I think Ron DeSantis can hold his own. I think Vivek can hold his own because they know Trump's strategy, right? And they're smart people. So I think you could have a robust Republican primary. I don't think Vivek's going to get any. I don't think he has a chance whatsoever as far as getting through these guys. But one of his assets is his amazing ability to handle adverse situations, particularly with journalists. And that is one of Ron DeSantis's, assets, just like Trump. And so I don't know if Trump can bully them off the stage like he does with journalists. Now he'll bully the journalists, he'll bully the people questioning, and he'll do his best. But I don't say it's a given, because there is a lot of Trump fatigue out there too. So don't Rick. Like I said, I'm sorry this is happening to you because you're an asshole, but I'm not sorry it's happening to you. Fuck off, Rick Wilson. All right, now a couple other things that are going on that have nothing to do with this. Natalie Holloway is trending because apparently Peru's government will allow the extradition to the United States of Joran van der Sloot, the prime suspect in the unsolved 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway on Aruba, bringing her family hope that justice will be served in the case. I'll leave the article up here, and if you want to get more information on that, that's interesting. Another thing that's happening right now, what's this? Mr. Speaker. Now, I don't know why this was trending. They gave several instances of, I don't know which parliament this is. Is this British Parliament? There's so many instances of Mr. Speaker talking in, I think this is British Parliament. And there's a lot of, here, let's see. Let's look at this one, because this is the one where Sir Lindsay Hoyle absolutely livid about Kimi Butterneck. Anyway, here it is. Let's watch this one. It's only a minute long, so we'll watch this one. Like I said, there's several of these.
That is totally not acceptable. No. Who do you think you're speaking to, Secretary of State? I think we need to understand each other. I am the defender of this House and these benches on both sides. I am not going to be spoken to by a Secretary of State who is absolutely not accepting my ruling. Take it with good grace and accept it that members should hear it first, not a WMS or what you decide. These members have been elected by their constituents and they have the right to hear it first. And it is time this government recognised we're all elected, we're all members of Parliament, and use the correct manners. Secretary of State.
Mr. Speaker, I apologise. What I was trying to say was that I'm very sorry that I did not meet the standards which you expect of Secretaries of State, forgive my language. But what I have been trying to do is make sure that I provide as much clarity as possible. So I am actually very pleased.
Anyways, he got a little heated there, and I don't know if that's why it's trending. There's many clips of the British Parliament under this thing. All right, let's keep going. What's this one? Oh, Delaware's trending. And there's so many different things happening in Delaware. So let's just go through a few of them real quick. First is this one. A former DHS disinformation expert is suing Fox News for defamation. Nina Jankowicz, who once led the Department of Homeland Security Board, said that Fox deliberately lied about her and that she was subjected to death threats. Okay. I wonder how many Fox News anchors are subjected to death threats constantly. This is one they use over and over. But she smells blood in the water, thinks she can get some dollars out of it. And again, this is NBC News, so just be prepared for the slant. An expert who once oversaw a Department of Homeland Security disinformation board, filed a defamation suit Wednesday against Fox News, her lawyer said. Nina Jankowicz, the singing weirdo that was the head of the disinformation board, said in a suit filed in Delaware State Court and she filed it in Delaware. Now, you know why they file things in Delaware, because they went court shopping and this was the best way to do it. And also Fox has some corporate offices there. Filed a suit in Delaware court that she was subjected to violent threats because of Fox News' portrayal of her and her role, which included insults made on the network. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a public official and the insults will hurt you. Fox's coverage of Jankowicz was neither news nor political commentary. It was cheap, easy entertainment untethered from the facts, designed to make consumers believe that Jankowicz could and would suppress their speech. She has said that out loud once or twice. Sharon is Karen. How you doing? Trump losing and winning was part of the plan. Lockdown president will be back. DeSantis won't run seriously against Trump. They are both Jesuits. They don't cross each other. Are they? I didn't know Trump was a Jesuit. How do you know that? I've never heard that before. All right. Fox News anyway, so the disinformation board hag is going to sue Fox News. Come get me, bitch. I don't care. I've watched some of the things you've said. You would suppress people's speech if you could. You've said it out loud and it's on video. So please. Comments on Fox News portrayed her as censoring American speech. The suit argues she was called unhinged and a minister of truth in an apparent reference to George Orwell's dystopian world in 1984, the suit says. This lawsuit includes screenshots of comments on Gab. On Gab? Gab's not related to Fox News. And another website, Patriots.win, in which people reacted to Fox broadcast with comments like, "Time to kill them all." I'm sure those were serious. Did they do any of that? Tweet said she should be executed. Oh, goodness gracious. Other direct messages told Jankowicz to kill herself using vulgar language. According to the lawsuit, her address was released online and members of her family were threatened, the suit alleges. Interesting. So she's, again, Fox News is an easy target right now. In the Washington Times, this is also in Delaware. All these things are happening in Delaware. Judge refuses to dismiss Facebook shareholder lawsuit over user privacy breaches. Uh-oh. A Delaware judge on Wednesday refused to dismiss a shareholder lawsuit alleging that Facebook's officers and directors violated both the law and their fiduciary duties in failing for years to protect the privacy of user data. Vice Chancellor J. Travis Lasser rejected arguments that the complaint should be dismissed because the plaintiffs did not first demand that Facebook's board take legal action before filing litigations themselves. Under Delaware law, shareholders must make such a demand or demonstrate that doing so would be futile because a majority of directors were self-interested, lacked independence, or faced a substantial limited likelihood of liability. Lasser agreed with the plaintiffs that demand would be futile because there is reasonable doubt that a majority of the relevant Facebook board members, many with close personal and business ties to Mark Zuckerberg, would be willing to confront the CEO and founder of the company, now known as Meta Platforms, Inc., over its privacy failures. So, if you want more details, the article will be in the links at the end of the show. But so anyway, they are going to go ahead with this lawsuit. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, sponsor the show one more time. More weaponization of the court system. There needs to be repercussions for these kinds of lawsuits, and even for false indictments. Does anyone think we have a fair justice system not prone to political motivation and revenue raising? No, I don't at all. Thank you for the comment. I agree, and thank you for the small bullet in the tip jar. No, they don't. That's just it. The idea that, look, Trump is right. The January 6th people, there was no way they were going to get a fair trial in Washington, D.C. I think all of those cases are appealable. It's not even close. I mean, there's no way. They have not lost. Let's see. I think they have one case that they've lost. That's not even reasonable that you would win every single case. but the thumbs are definitely on the scales right now in those cases. In any of the Trump cases in New York City, thumbs, they got their whole fat ass on the scale in New York City. So I don't know. Anyway, more things happening in Delaware. A former teacher charged with multiple counts of rape of a student 9 years after she stopped teaching at the school. A former Delaware middle school teacher has been charged with multiple counts of rape of a student nearly a decade after she stopped teaching at the school. Reed Messer, 42, was extradited to Delaware on Monday after being arrested in her home in Greenville, South Carolina, according to Delaware State Police. Police received a report from the Division of Family Services in late December alleging that the former teacher at middle school in Wilmington had a sexual relationship with a juvenile student about 9 years ago. Authorities said investigators determined that the teacher and student apparently began a sexual relationship in October 2014 that lasted about 2 months. Okay. This was from a decade ago, so 10 years ago. So this teacher had an affair, or a sexual relationship with a middle schooler? Like, how okay, ladies, how much pleasure could you get out of, I mean, how long? It wouldn't even last. I don't even get it. Anyway, police obtained an arrest warrant for Messer on April 26th, and she was taken into custody by South Carolina authorities. Messer is charged with 2 counts of sexual abuse of a child by a person of trust, 10 counts of third-degree rape, and 10 counts of fourth-degree rape. She is being held at Delaware's women's prison with a bond set at $310,000 cash. Court docket did not list an attorney for Messer. So in Delaware, they extradited her, so there you go. Also in Delaware, in the matter of former Twitter CEO's purchase of Jay-Z's bankrupt music app for $306 million, a Delaware judge has told furious investors who lost money in the failed deal that one can only sue board members for being corrupt, but not for being dumb or incompetent. Interesting. So here it is. The plaintiff, stockholder of Block Inc. So this is when Jack tried to buy Tidal. Not Tidal. Yeah, is it Tidal that Jay-Z owned? I can't remember. Well, here it is. Yeah, Tidal. Plaintiff, stockholder of Block Inc., filed this derivative suit challenging Block's acquisition of Tidal, a music streaming company associated with rapper, producer, and entrepreneur Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z. Block Facilities Payment Processing helps individuals transfer money electronically. It never ventured into the music streaming industry, and at the time acquired Tidal and had no plans to do so. The idea for the acquisition came to Jack Dorsey, Block's founder, CEO, and chairman when he was summer. Okay, you can read this yourself. But anyway, there. So anyway, the investors who lost money apparently can't sue the board members, or can only sue the board members for being corrupt, but not for being dumb or incompetent. So they lost some money there. Needless to say. Let's see. Oh, Tribal is trending. Tribal, okay, so here's how I would describe Tribal, because you may never heard of it. Tribal is a social media platform similar to Twitter, just like Getter and Cloud Hub, and what's the other one? There's Getter, Cloud Hub. There's Parler, like the pop-up echo chamber fake Twitters, right? For that people go to, or even like Truth Social, right? So there's one called Tribal that after Elon Musk bought Twitter, that popped up, and a lot of liberals are going over there. A lot of people. There's another one called Spoutable. That's Christopher Boozy, the bot Sentinel guy. He bought the platform from a Russian company, but he put it on the internet, and people are using that one too. So anyway, Tribal is one of those alternative Twitter sites. This one's for lefties, unlike Parler and Getter, which is for righties. Okay, so apparently Tribal has banned Tucker Carlson from Tribal. Breaking: Tucker Carlson has been banned from the platform Tribal Social, founded by the brothers who run Occupy Democrats. Oh yeah, Tribal is run by those idiots who do Occupy Democrats, if you're familiar with them. So this will limit his reach, and he won't be able to reach their 400,000 active users. and will instead be stuck on Twitter again with its meager $450 million active users. So anyway, here's what Tribal put out there. Breaking, Tucker Carlson is hit with bad news. This was Occupy Democrats. The guys who own Tribal put this on their Occupy Democrats site. Breaking, Tucker Carlson is hit with bad news as new Twitter competitor Tribal announces that they just permanently banned Carlson from their growing social media app, declaring that, quote, Tribal has decided to permanently ban Tucker Carlson from our network because Mr. Carlson is a proven liar, racist, and insurrectionist who spreads Russian propaganda that threatens our democracy. Oh my gosh, the vapors. Banning him is necessary to protect our users. What? Protect our users from shit that they don't already believe? What are you talking about? Please retweet and like if you support. Okay, so that's what they put out there, right? And some people are laughing. Oh, yeah, Twitter competitor, laughing my ass off. Does anybody even know who Tribal is? Never heard of it. Okay, after seeing Tucker Carlson has been banned by Tribal, I thought, what the fuck is Tribal? So and then they showed some reviews. Here's just one. It keeps freezing and spinning. Today I tried to log in and my posts were gone. Weird. I'm so reinstalling that app for the third time. Hope it's a charm. Anyway, so that's kind of the reviews. But Tucker Carlson himself probably had the greatest reaction. Okay, so here it is. Tucker Carlson, I said, I'm sure he's devastated. So Tucker Carlson, yeah. Like he gives, I know that Tucker Carlson is devastated that he will not be allowed on Tribal. Okay, all right, I can close that. Okay, there's a couple of things I don't have time for. This is a great thread. So there's a book by someone named Andrea, or not a book, an article. She won a Pulitzer Prize. She's been awarded a Pulitzer Prize in criticism. Andrea Long Chu of New York Magazine. The Pulitzer Prize in criticism, right? This is a woman, and I use the term loosely, who wrote, this person says, wrote one of the most sexist, woman-hating, and perverted books in recent memory, titled Females. And she just won a Pulitzer Prize. Now, here's just give you an example of what's in her book. To be a female is to let someone else do your desiring for you at your own expense. For our purposes here, I'll define as female any psychic operation in which the self is sacrificed to make room for the desires of another. Now, okay, that's not one of the worst things she wrote. Or this is a transgender woman, so they had to give her a prize for something. But what she was saying, one of the things that she was saying that, someone put a little, oh shoot, it's gone. This is her, him, it, whatever. Trans-identifying male academic who claimed porn motivated his, okay, here it is. Where's the book? Porn motivated his transition and has been awarded a Pulitzer Prize. What is the one? There's something about, okay, this book that this person wrote, something about holes, and women are just, they're all about holes and getting things put in their holes. Basically, that makes you a woman or a female. That makes you a female, even the sex part. This is a weirdo. I'll leave the articles and the links. And then finally, I don't know if you saw this incident. This Billboard Chris guy got attacked by some guy on a bike while he was doing interviews at Portland State with, who was he with? He was with, oh shoot, I can't remember. But anyway, the person who attacked him on the bike was, of course, a professor at Portland State. Trans activist who attacked anti-child sex change activist Billboard Chris was someone called Chrissy May Kalal, a Portland State faculty member. It's interesting because I watched a bunch of these interviews, and the only person who actually was had any form of violence just happened to be this Portland State professor, of course. So it's par for the course. I'll leave the links, and then just the other articles I didn't get to. MTV News is going to be shut down after, I don't know, they're notoriously left wing. CNN railed against platforming Donald Trump. Now he's hosting that's hosting a Trump town hall. That was just from before the town hall. In the summit news, NBC host worries that no one will be able to police what Tucker Carlson said if he moves his show to the internet. Oh no, we can't censor Tucker Carlson anymore. No one's going to be able to control him. How long is this clip?
Okay. Well,
Brian Stelter. I think we already saw this.
Disinformation, all-out lies, anti-Semitism, racism.
Anti-Semitism? What are you talking about?
And now it's gotten kind of crazy, right? Seemingly unmoored.
Yes,
if you will.
yes, it has been very crazy, and I really don't know why they're putting him on here.
Or is this the point? It's just a free-for-all.
I think this is the point. It is a free-for-all. It's what Elon Musk wants to provide. This move by Tucker may cement the idea of Twitter as a right-wing website.
Oh, yeah, sure. Because anyone can put their shows on there, including Keith Olbermann. But yeah, that'll cement it as a right-wing website. Look, I could run my show on Twitter if I wanted to. I don't, but I could. Anyway, in the New York Post, actress Charlize Theron, I can't remember anything she's been in, but I know she's been in several movies. She threatens to fuck up conservatives worried about drag queens sexualizing children. Is this the clip? Oh, yeah, it is. Hang on.
Love you, queens. We love you, queens.
Oh, yes.
We got you, and I will anybody up who's like trying to with
yes.
you guys. It's really, in all seriousness, there's so many things that are hurting and really killing our kids, and
this is not one of them. Yeah, you guys are killing kids by doing this.
Because if you've ever seen a drag queen...
Okay, whatever. Drag queens aren't for kids. Drag queens are a form of art that many adults enjoy, but they're not. It's not for kids. So shut the fuck up, Charlene. I don't care what you have to say about it. 11 state attorney generals, including District of Columbia, wants federal action on gas stoves. So they're saying, hey, don't fuck with our gas stoves, because New York's trying to get rid of gas stoves. They said, so we had the thing where they said they're going to try to take away your gas stoves, and all the liberals were like, oh, you're just crying wolf. No one's going to take away your gas stove. You bigot, you fool, you global warmist, you climate denialist. No one wants to take your gas stove. And then the state of New York passes a law that they're going to get rid of gas stoves by X date. And so now there are people out here saying that 11 state attorney generals, including D.C., wants federal action on gas stoves. Wait a second. People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told us no one is coming for our gas stoves. So did Chuck Schumer. Regulator Richard Trumka Jr. also said this. The AP's fact check said Biden's administration isn't taking our gas stoves. Well, what about the states? I guess they're taking over since Trumka's comments came to light a few months ago. Here it is. AG Brian Schwab. Today, I'm leading 11 attorney generals calling for federal action to address the health and safety risks. Oh, wait, these are ones who want to take away your gas stoves. 11 attorney generals are getting together. Today, I'm leading 11 AGs calling for federal action to address the health and safety risks of gas stoves, which emit pollutants that have disparate negative impact on children and underserved communities that put DC residents at risk of asthma and other respiratory illnesses. I urge CVSC to develop uniform performance and ventilation standards for gas stoves and to increase consumer awareness about the health risk of these appliances pose. Yeah, no. Anyway, fuck you. In Washington, pasta lovers beware. You could spend an extra 23 hours a year boiling water due to Biden's gas stove rules. Oh, the Department of Energy proposal is to attack on gas cooking appliances. The Biden administration's proposed gas stove regulations would force Americans to spend an extra 23 hours a year waiting for water to boil, according to the industry analysts. The efficiency regulations unveiled by President Joe Biden's Energy Department in January would limit high heat stove burners used for cooking tasks such as boiling water or searing meats, according to associations. So they're trying to regulate them. Look, they're trying to regulate them out of existence. I bet they are. In Breitbart, San Francisco security supervisor calls for prohibiting security from using guns to protect property. So this guy, apparently there was some kind of Walgreens who got in a fight with a security guard, got shot or whatever. I don't know the full story. But anyway, now there's a what's his name? San Francisco supervisor Dean Preston announced Tuesday that he's calling for legislation to limit security guards' ability to use guns to protect property. It's in California. Because gosh forbid someone come on your property and attack you. But anyway, that's in the article. Chicago prosecutor quits after 20 years, slams leaders for putting city on a course for disaster. Jason Pohe, a felony trial attorney in Cook County, quit after 20 years due to Chicago's downward spiral caused by the leader's stupid policies. He wrote to his colleagues after 20 years, I always kind of figured an email like this would start with, "It's with heavy heart that I leave. The truth is I can't get out of here fast enough." So anyway, he's leaving because of Chicago fucked up policies. A couple other articles you can see. Colorado mom sues school after secret trans group recruits her daughters and does unthinkable things. Don't use your imagination on that. Read the article, because if you use your imagination, you're going to think worse than it actually happened. And oh my God, hidden camera catches Catholic college prioritizing transgender students, promising shared accommodations with biological girls. So the world's going to hell, and I don't even fucking have a handbasket. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go. I'm really late. Thanks for being here. Hit the tip jar if you want to. Thanks for those who did. Jimmy Das Hotep, and Gunfox61. And that is everybody today. And then thanks for everyone who shared the stream, hit the like button, do all that stuff. But I gotta go. So thanks for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. My name's P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.